So I found a new downgrade. I want to see it. So this downgrade is about the cargo containers they added. Okay, so they added new cargo containers, and you can buy those in the cargo centers. And they have different sizes. Now I just have this one placed and a smaller one. And let me get straight to the downgrade. So this is what's shown on the roadmap. Inventory cargo containers, and it says the feature will allow players to store items in smaller cargo containers in larger cargo containers. Look at the picture. That's a shorter version of the cargo container that was shown on CitCon, where you could walk into and you see items on inside here. Now let's look at the patch notes. 322 adds openable cargo containers, allowing players to be able to store commodities and items in. Okay, commodities, which means smaller boxes of stuff. However, when you actually try them in-game, they're just the classic magic boxes that are already in the game. Okay, let me show you. So first, when you want to deploy them, it's a really buggy system right now. And it shows that it's probably pre-Christmas patch, so they probably won't get anything done. Okay, so I bought different boxes. And the only way you can currently use them is you have to go into your cargo grid in your ship in the station. Then you have to drag it out and put it on the ground. Then it will appear. Now the next problem is, because they wanted to rush the thing without any usability, well, almost no usability, is that if you want to use a tractor beam, which I got equipped, see here, I cannot equip it because in stations, because of the no fire zone, you cannot even use tractor beams, which means I actually have to fly outside of the station to do anything with those boxes, except the small ones I can carry. And I think that's a pretty bad downgrade what we got here. Because if you look at what happened this year in terms of preparing you for excitement, okay, so we have here, first we have, so on CitCon they showed this here, gear up with all your personal items, and notice you see like those smaller cargo containers that open, and that suggests you can put items on them, and they will fold into themselves, and they will stay like that, like weapon displays. And now let's look at this design brief that was, I think, 2 months ago. Let's take a listen for a few seconds.
The other thing we're looking at with cargo and cargo boxes is the ability to store large items in your cargo boxes. This could be anything from a ship weapon to even smaller vehicles like gray cats.
You notice here, that box isn't in the game at all. There's no box that you can carry like that currently. And notice that they're trying to fake the car actually driving to the box, but he's driving behind the box. And he said they're looking at. Okay, let's repeat what he said.
The other thing we're looking at with cargo and cargo boxes.
We're looking at, which means 2 or 3 years from now, they might be trying something like that. Because when they say looking at or thinking of how to do something, it takes 2 or 3 years for them to even appear in a basic version of the game. And I think it's pretty lame because they set you up for all that excitement, and then because that thing on the cargo, where's the card? It appeared right after CitCon. Where's it? It appeared right after CitCon, and you saw the cargo containers. We see like this container. I was super excited when I saw it. I was like, okay, there's this big container you can walk into, and they're finally going to add some real content, which means the Argo raft will have some use. And because it would be a pretty huge thing if you could just have hollow containers, you can put other stuff in, and then you can move the whole container. And we just got a severely downgraded version of that, because what you get in-game is just these containers. You can only open them, and then you can put stuff into them, and you can carry that thing away. And the same for the larger containers here. So those are just magic boxes that you can carry around, because the developer said, I think Richard Tyrus said it, I think 2 years ago, that they want the magic boxes to go away, so the ships don't have that ship inventory over here. That ship inventory, so you would have to go to specific points in the ship to get your cargo, all your items. Well, that is a great idea because it makes the game world more physical. Okay, let me show you here. Because you got the weapon rack over here, got a suit locker. So the idea is great, and you have I think, wait, is that like I think it has one over here, a storage container. So there's localized magic boxes, and magic box, I would call it something that's, what developers call it magic bag of holding, where you can just hide stuff without seeing it. However, the boxes completely ruin that system, because what's currently possible is that, just let me show you, I'll take off the hanger. The problem is with the new box system, it basically undermines the localized storage in ships, and it makes them completely trivial for 2 reasons. Now, the first reason is that The first reason is that why should you ever, especially in larger ship, why should you ever go to suit locker or to your weapon rack or to some localized storage if you can just keep a box with everything you want right next to your seat? Because there's no reason for rushing down to an armory in a specific ship if you can carry everything right next to you. And the second reason is that, would I have to take off? Now, the second reason is, let's say I'm on this moon over here and I want to go on an adventure. Okay, let's say I have to travel up there and there's a mission or something, or some point of interest, I have to go up here. Now, if inventory capacity is limited, then I have to be careful. What should I take with me for the trip? What can I carry? Food, water, armor, emergency equipment, a sidearm pistol, gun, multi-tool or something. Or I can just pack anything I want, up to like possibly 5 to 10 armor sets. Just take the box and carry the thing with me. Not only that, I can also just mouse wheel until it's about 100 meters away. I think the range is 100 meters. And I can just wave the thing around. You see how it completely, it damages the plan of having localized inventory in ships completely, because now you can have a magic box you can put anywhere, which is easy to move thanks to the multi-tool, which has too much power. And if you go on an adventure, you can just carry it around like that without any effort, which means a normal player can carry around 10, 15, 20 times his own weight, just in that box. But of course, you can larger boxes too. I think that's a result of the multi-tools being too powerful. So that's what the video is about, is that the first part is the disappointment that they advertised that thing for the end of the year, and they cleverly advertised it before the ship sale. And now the downgrades of that thing not being in the game yet, who knows when, comes after the ship sale. And the second problem is that all that box carrying and multi-tool beam, it undermines any type of meaningful inventory gameplay. Because it would be much more fun if you would be limited in your inventory.